What's up, guys? Welcome back. As you can see, I'm in the garage. Today is the day. I am going to remove the stock twin turbos and go with the single turbo. Now, I noticed over the time I've had the car done, I've never done a drive-by or talk about how I really feel about the performance and sound. The car performs great. It sounds good, but it doesn't sound as good as I'd want it to be. And it's not as loud. It's like super quiet. Like at idle, you almost can't tell, man, it's a Supra. So hopefully by installing this single turbo kit, it'll change the sound a little bit. I know it's a cast iron log style manifold, and most people say they don't like the sound of it, but I already bought that kit, so I'm gonna install it. But before I do that, I'm gonna do a cold start and I'm gonna do some drive-bys just to hear you get a baseline for what it sounds like now, and then I have something to compare it to. We are back in the garage. The car is up on the ramp here. Have jack stands underneath. Next, I'm gonna remove the wheels, and everything right here has to come off. I've seen online, people say this takes 4 to 5 hours to remove. Hopefully it doesn't take me that long, but I'm just gonna time lapse most of it, spare you the boredom of, me sitting there trying to figure it out. But I'm gonna get after it, so let's do this. All right, there it is, completely removed. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't easy, but I got it done in about three hours and change, so that's not bad. But everything's out. I'm just gonna spray some degreaser right here, and I'm gonna start assembling everything. One will get plugged off, one will get routed back to the the hose that goes inside the car, which is this one. I'm gonna try to make it work. It looks like it's long enough to go behind the engine and make it down there. So that should be a pretty easy fix. I'm also gonna change the water neck. I'll show you what I've done, and then I'll undo this right here. Also, I got the radiator out, so I'm gonna put the new radiator in the car just to get rid of that one that has a small leak. So the next step is, and I have to remove this this flange and put the one that came with the turbo kit. So, okay, so here's the flange that came in the kit. It has a rubber O-ring, so it helps create that seal up against the oil pan. Obviously, the car is a turbo engine, so I don't have to fabricate anything to accommodate the oil return. It's already there. So just want to make sure that's really nice and clean. Now the kit comes with bolts, and I think I'm gonna go with the studs that are on the car and just tighten them because it's the same fitment. So I'm just gonna put, even though it has the O-ring, I'm gonna put some sealant around it, and then I'm gonna reuse the nuts that came off the factory setup and I'll just retain these 2 bolts in case I ever need them. All right, so here's the game plan. Here's the hose that's gonna go on there. Let me get the clamp off of this one. So this will go over that side. And I know this is kind of ratchet, but I gotta do what I gotta do in the meantime until I source the right stuff. And then this will go on the back side. So good thing is, if that's leaking, I'll be able to see it pretty easily. Okay, so now let me go ahead and connect this water hose back to the lower side. So when you put this on, apparently I have to replace this stud, this one, and the 2 in the middle. So I'm gonna have to remove those. All right, so here's the flange for the wastegate, the gasket, and the actual wastegate is right here. So I just went and looked through the book, and it comes with 3 additional springs, natural, yellow, and blue. And by default, when I read everything on this paper, I'm not seeing the red and I'm not seeing the green. So that tells me the red and the green, they're both in the wastegate right now. So with red and green installed in the wastegate, that'll allow me to run 15 pounds of boost. I'm okay with that. I would have probably want to be at 16.5, but I'm gonna have to undo it, take it apart. I don't want to do all that. So I'm just gonna keep it with the red and green for now, because I don't have. So earlier I said 4 of the short studs that comes in the kit goes here and here, but I was wrong. It's 2 go on the bottom part. So when you put the manifold, you have access to these bolts, these 2 right here. And then the other 4 short ones, they're gonna hold the turbo onto the manifold. So now, let me put this puppy in here and tighten up one of these to hold it. That way I can line up the dump tube, make sure it's not hitting anything. So I'm having some issues with the fitment. So I removed the turbine from the back housing here so I can get better visibility on what's going on. So I have to drill out, I think I have to drill out this hole a little bit more. Already did a little bit, but it's still not going on correctly. So this is where I'm at in the process. Have this installed, and I have the return flange down here that's installed. However, if you pay attention to this bolt, it comes from the bottom of the car up, and it looks like it's securing the rack to the body of the car. Well, the fitting that comes with the return line, because this is so tall, it won't fit. And I have to go figure a way. I'm either gonna have to remove this bolt and cut it. Additionally, the oil feed right here, where my finger is pointing, I don't have the tool to fit this fitting, so I have to get a tool for that as well. And so because I have to go get those pieces, I'm gonna call it a night. That's what I'm gonna call day 1. I have everything removed, and I have the turbo manifold put back on, downpipe, wastegate, the water line is routed, and so I'm just gonna call it a night. So stay tuned for part 2.